Daar is Charlotte Hellekant. Ja. Vodka? Vodka, okay. Well, it's nice to have you here. It's great to have you at this introduction because you have to sing and it's quite, well, a performance. I think it duurt bijna een uur het stuk, dus het is nogal wat. What I wonder, Toshio Hosokawa wrote The Raven especially for you. Mm-hmm. Last year you also sang in his opera Matsukaze, and then he especially wrote it for you. But when did you hear his music or perform his music for the first time?
It seems like I've heard his music so much, but I think I heard a piece before I was even asked to do the Matsukaze. And then, of course, as I was asked to do Matsukaze, I listened to a lot of his music.
And what was your first impression when you heard it?
Well, like I think so many people speak about, and what he speaks about himself is a combination of a Western musical language with the Eastern musical language. I guess in his specific case it would be Japanese. But of course, it's always fantastic when... is this too loud? I mean, you can really speak in here, whisper.
Is it hard?
Is it all right?
No, it's okay.
Of course, it's really fantastic when you make the acquaintance with a living composer who has his entire own language, you know, where using the same notes as pretty much everybody else, he manages to sound just like Hosokawa. And I think that's one of the signs of a really interesting composer, where you can recognize.
And the title of the concert, I don't know whether you are aware, I was just talking about it to the audience. It's East and West. Either you meld together, you blend, or you, you have a struggle, you clash. What do you think about that?
You mean these two
yeah, the opposition.
styles?
Do you see this at all?
No. I see world peace, no clashes.
World peace, that's more.
No, the other thing I wanted to say is many times us Westerners, when we think about Eastern kind of music, we think about, you know, the kind of music you hear when you go to the massage therapist, which is a lot of flutes and a pling-plongs and a doing and a beep. But in a matter of fact, Japanese music has a lot of drama in it. And if you look at it, the No plays, for example, which is one of the sources of inspiration for Toshio Hosokawa, there's a lot of drama. And of course, if you remember all the fantastic Japanese films, you know, they don't just go around pling-plonging. And you can hear this in his music. In this music, the piece that you're going to hear today, there's a fantastic variety of styles. Some of it is very dramatic, and others are, toward the end, it's a Zen-like kind of atmosphere that he leaves you with. And I asked if you did have the translation. You do. Have you talked a little bit about the piece?
No, because we're just starting.
Yeah.
But I was wondering, kent u al het gedicht The Raven van Edgar Allan Poe? Wie kent het niet? Oh, dat is quite hard. Don't know it. The Raven is een heel belangrijk gedicht. Dat is de doorbraak geweest in de 19e eeuw van Edgar Allan Poe. And it's a very, very rhythmical poem. So what I wanted to ask you, would you first read, before we talk about it, the first stanza, for instance? Can you read it?
You will actually be hearing me reading the first stanza in the piece. So, if you don't mind,
take another one. It's okay. It's just the rhythm.
Mutiny. follow orders. I do that quite often. What I would like to say, just a few things, and you will probably speak about this, so, you know, tell me to, if I do enter into, but besides being rhythmical, it has a very, very complex set of poetic tools in this poem, which is 18 verses long. And they're very long phrases, and he uses alliteration, which is when you repeat a sign, like so scissors, seeking, such, you know, and he's fantastic. It happens all over the place. It's
and
really
a lot of repetition as well.
Yes, a lot of repetition. And then he also has, and in spite of all these complex tools, he manages to tell you a fantastic story. So it's not just a poem, you know, existential poem, but it's sort of a fairy tale. It's a story. It's a short story. And may I tell you a little bit about this story? Because I think this is important. Because this is all the Victorian poetry. So even if you took half an hour to read it before you hear it later on, you might not actually get the gist or the essence of it. And
but perhaps you could read one stanza first, and then we can talk about it, because I think it's quite important what Hosokawa thinks about this work, and what you think about it, and what we perhaps think about it.
Yeah, but then we'll do the summary later, because I think that's even more important, because you will become extremely aware of all the beautiful poetic ways that Edgar Allan Poe. Let's see. I will take the third stanza. And there, right in the beginning, you have the alliteration, which is, and the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, 'tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This it is, and nothing more.